So Janice Combs and her pet dog both recently went to Party City, got the deluxe twin edition piece, and are living their best life.
Bye, beautiful.
Thank you, Mama.
Have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Go home and relax.
God bless you.
You're welcome. She's so pretty. So freaking.
Now, of course, she is basically being praised by these people who are seeing her, saying God bless you, and she's appreciative and she's interactive, saying that she will go home and that she will rest, or she needs to rest in pieces because they have been worn out more than some of these people at the damn freak-offs. Hey guys, it's Morali. Hopefully you guys are all doing well today. Daily and consistent content. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get straight into this video. So I want people to understand that Diddy is cooked. The testimony, the verdicts, the testimonies that we've seen, and the verdict is happening within a week's time, early July, guys. So it's going to be an absolute madness, far earlier than I expected. But he's cooked. After the first testimony, they have him dead to rights using a team of assistants and 5 bank accounts, including several bad boy bank accounts, to pay for a hotel and for an escort to travel across state lines to engage in paid work, all in one interaction. That is Rico. That is plain evidence of Rico, especially when it comes to the Mann Act. So I often find it interesting when people are discussing Diddy's innocence, they really just are ill-equipped on legal terminology or research of this case. And when this verdict does come in, a lot of people are going to be starstruck, not because they believe Diddy is innocent. They're going to be starstruck because they're simply uneducated on these conversations because they don't want to look into it. This is not just about DV, we're talking Rico. We're talking drug Rico. We're talking, in regards to workers and transporting them and bringing them with his influence and then telling them to do things that they may feel uncomfortable to do when it comes to these freak-offs. Now, text messages have been released. Explicit text messages with Cassie demanding $50,000 from her husband Alex Fine that surface. Cassie married Alex, and newly surfaced text messages between Cassie and Diddy offer a revealing glimpse into their tangled relationship. In one exchange, Diddy confronts Cassie about an alleged affair with a personal trainer whose services he was paying for around $50,000. The messages expose how financial generosity morphed into emotional leverage, underscoring the complicated power dynamics that underpin their connection. Diddy's text to Cassie. Combs also covered Cassie's friends, and that also adds to a complex layer considering what Kerry Morgan has testified as well. So these messages have been released. Not only that, but text messages have been released of basically freak-off travel instructions for male escorts. This is what I'm referring to, that also adds another layer to Rico. You have text messages of Diddy trying to organize flights and times for these workers to come to certain places all over different states so that these people can engage in freak-offs and do these insidious stuff to Cassie or other people. And even if they've consented for a freak-off to take place, it doesn't mean that they've consented to every position or every aspect of the intimacy or freak-off session. You can be consensual to somebody and being intimate with them, and then you could say this is going too far and they don't care and they have violated your consent right in that moment. And so if Diddy is flying these people to basically engage in these freak-offs with his influence, and then these particular freak-off people do stuff or are instructed to do stuff that are far more, especially with the substances that he's getting, it is a big problem. It is Rico. The man is cooked, guys, 110%. And these text messages have been released by the prosecution. Note that they are releasing stuff even whilst the trial dates are off. This is how much evidence that they have. They didn't need Christina Coram. And you guys will understand that, for those who are pro-Diddy, when the verdict comes in early July. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes in on the 4th of July. That's going to be absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And because we're looking at Judge Arun controlling this case, he might be getting the R. Kelly treatment. He might be getting, guys, the R. Kelly treatment. It's just going to be a lot. Now, speaking of a lot, Nicki Minaj, guys, is tweeting up a storm for Demore, Desiree Perez's daughter. We know Desiree Perez is the CEO of Roc Nation, and we know the lawsuit in regards to Demore and how she feels like, her mother is tracking her, trying to put in a conservatorship basically, and also was, saying some racial slurs. Well, Nicki Minaj is tweeting up a storm, said, they've had access to my accounts on all platforms. I didn't change the passwords either. I let them continue doing everything they allegedly did to Demore to me. And you have no idea how disgusting it gets. Enough is enough. So it seems that she is triggered by the lawsuit that has come out via Demore. And she's basically tweeting saying that everything that is happening to Demore, all of these levels of control, I can relate to that because that basically was happening to me via Desiree Perez. And that does sound believable. To the PM who claims it wasn't made clear to your ugly asses, hopefully Demore's massive and detailed page by page claim gets you all the way caught up. Never call me a liar, never insinuate it either. Every single angel ever created fights for me at the mere mention of that word as it relates to me. Vengeance is the Lord's. Be careful. No one who conspired on the wrong side will go unpunished for the role they played in this movie. I hope it was all worth it. So, some people are stating, well, what does Nicki have to do with this? She's not saying that she's directly related to this lawsuit that Demore has. She's basically stating that I can understand this woman's experience to an extent because I've also experienced this. At the level that Nicki Minaj is, an A-list celebrity, calling out the CEO of Roc Nation is very interesting. I genuinely feel this is the beginning of the fall of Roc Nation. Very similar to what that lady said who, was able to predict stuff in the future. She's got a Sloan Bella, I believe her name is. She was discussing how Jay-Z's going to have financial hardships, lawsuits are going to come his way, and things are going to get very interesting. It's going to be a very slow snowball effect. Well, it looks like other people who work for that company are basically going to be hit in some kind of way. And Fat Joe, Roc Nation was mentioned in that lawsuit, let alone the financial lawsuits. And now you have Desiree Perez's lawsuit as well, which is kicking up some media steam. Nicki Minaj tweeting about it, trying to come for Roc Nation basically and expose Desiree, Jay-Z, the Rico, etc. All of that is a very interesting move to make. They want to bury this story as soon as possible. They don't want big celebrities like Nicki directly calling out people. And so for her to directly call out Demore is very, very interesting. She does, of course, not get on with the people at Roc Nation. She's very much, supportive of Lil Wayne and her team and etc. And that in itself I can understand. But this to me is a lot. That, she's even tweeting hashtag justice for dem, talking about how all of her platforms get flagged and suspended, and that they basically control a lot of what she posts out. And it's just very, very interesting. Years of interfering with the way I earn my money, years of putting people in harm's way, game over. Would you continue working in a field where you maliciously being kept away from your audience whilst everyone pretends to be mute? People might find her tweets to be far-fetched and etc., or think that she's reaching because she naturally is reactive. But if you read Demore's lawsuit about her mother, it is so extremely intricate and shocking. There are levels to this control. She says, I wonder who offered Deb $5 million to leave the tour, basically stating that certain things were impacted on the tour by specific people, and she's really upset by it, and she knows all of this. And she's mentioned Roc Nation here and there. She's mentioned how she's her distaste and her disdain for Jay-Z here and there, but she seems to be a lot more direct. And so I think this is going to really help Demore. It's going to really help the lawsuit and bring more eyes to it. And this is not what Desiree wants. She can try as much as she wants to subdue the story with the contacts that she has, but when you have people who are A-listers who are tweeting away and trying to do so, then it's very hard to take away that access of public eyes. It really, really is. And so we're going to see what happens here in the next couple of weeks or next couple of months, but this is definitely picking up steam. I feel like Nicki does speak in cryptic, but I feel like in these particular tweets she's a little bit more direct here, and mentioning Demore's name specifically, people are going to be looking at her thinking, who is this? And then read the lawsuit and they'll be like, wow. The fact that certain people have connects to hire psychiatrists for them to create fake diagnosis to lock somebody up is incredibly, incredibly scary. And for the fact that this woman, Demore, was actually held and detained, saying that she's mentally unwell and needs to take substances because certain doctors faked documents for her to be locked away, is bizarre. And like I said, if one is doing that to their daughter, allegedly, what makes you think that they couldn't do it to anybody else around them, no matter how big or small they are? So is this the beginning of the fall? is this the beginning of the fall? Is this the next chapter? Because that's basically what is giving. The first, couple of pages are being written. R. Kelly saga was absolutely insane. The Diddy saga right now, we're living through it, is absolutely insane. What saga is next? Because what goes up that is corrupt will definitely come down. And I know this is a different comparison, but empires who are huge, and empires majority seem to be corrupt anyways, have all fallen. Huge empires back in history have all fallen. And any future oppressive empires will also fall in time. We might not be able to live through it because, it takes a while, but they do fall. History tells you that. So always look at history, guys, in terms of predicting the future, because things do tend to repeat itself. Let me know your thoughts are, guys, when it comes to this video. Do subscribe to the channel, comment down below, give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. It's just one click to subscribe. That's all you guys have to do. And I'll catch you guys soon for another video.